Miami with number 9 Penn State Nittany Lions against the number 2 Miami Hurricanes, opening possession of the ball game. Penn State took the possession, first down at their 20. On third down, we're able to pick up on a pass play, pass and run, a first down. They're looking now at third down and about 12. As Tony Saka drops back the pass, shakes off a couple of defenders. Penalty flags are flying, and now Saka will go down. And it'll be fourth down and long for Penn State. Keith Jackson, Bob Greasy, Jack Arute. This is ABC Sports College Football from the Orange Bowl in Miami. You got a holding call here against Penn State. John Nealon out of the Big Ten is the referee. It is an all Big Ten crew. Joe Paterno brings his football team into Miami today to play the speed-laden Hurricanes, a decided underdog. Joe's team has been struggling with some injuries and with some people who have not developed as they thought they would. Dennis Erickson, as you can see, is 14-0 here in this stadium. Since he came here, and this is his third year, he has not lost a game at home. And now the Canes are about to get the ball as dropping back is Kevin Williams, one of the fastest kick returners, wideouts in the country, and he will accept the kick from Doug Helkowski, who has had a few knocked down, as you can see. So Penn State moved the ball up near midfield in their first possession, gaining 29 yards before they had to give it away. And here's the punt. The sun is out bright and shining. Kevin Williams comes up at the 19-yard line, gets a block on the corner, needs one more, and he's gone. But he is knocked out of bounds at the Penn State 43-yard line. So Miami, good field position for their first snap of the ball. No score.
Getting to know you.
Everybody's different. Different looks, different tastes, different lifestyles. That's why Geo offers you a choice. Geo Metro, Geo Storm, Geo Prism, and Geo Tracker. So pick your favorite and get to know Geo. Right around the corner at your Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Getting to know you.
Those figures for the meeting, you don't like them?
Some things are so reliable, they seem invisible.
Confusing, right? They're fine.
For the last 9 years, Canon has been the #1 choice for copiers of uncompromising quality.
No, really, tell me. You can tell me. They're fine. I'm your friend, tell me.
And if you haven't noticed, that's exactly how it should be.
We're not friends anymore.
From compact to advanced digital color to high-speed copying systems, the choice is Canon. Call 1-800-OK-CANON.
Uniroyal Tiger Paw. Tires ready for action. Bred for traction. Uniroyal Tiger Paw. Gripping tight. Holding fast. Hanging tough. Mile after mile after mile. So take a tip and get a grip. Tiger Paw tires from Uniroyal.
Undefeated Ohio State tackles Big Ten rival Illinois, plus other key regional games. It's game 2 of ABC's college football doubleheader next.
A 45-yard punt, a 46-yard return by Kevin Williams. Miami's first possession coming up. And Bob Greasy, here are the strengths for the Canes.
They go with 3 wide receivers the entire time, looking for the big play. Second in the nation in passing. And for Penn State, a lot of experience on that defensive side.
Man in motion, that gives them 4 wideouts, and Gino Torretta back to throw it, gets it away. His intended receiver slipped and fell. It was number 35, Darrell Spencer, so it is 2nd and 10, as Torretta is averaging better than 17 yards per completion, and that is very good.
It is very good.
Here are your wideouts, and when the back goes in motion, then you've got 4 wideouts and sometimes 5.
And no backs in the backfield. There's a look at the offensive line. Leon Searcy is the head of that line at 285.
They're picking up, but they are really quick. Here comes your reverse. It winds up with Lamar Thomas, and Thomas turns it in. Long-legged, and he is inside the 15. And he is down inside the 10-yard line. First down, Miami. They'll mark him out at the 11 where he first hit the chalk. Derek Bonner saved the touchdown.
Well, you've got 3 wide receivers. One is here, one is here. He's going to hand off to this receiver back in this way, and then the other receiver is going to catch it back going the other direction. Normally, you think of these guys as receivers going downfield, but when you've got athletic wide receivers who can run reverses, this type of stuff can happen.
And they can block, and they will block. They stretch you horizontally, and then they stretch you vertically. First down for the Canes at the Penn State 11-yard line. Toretta rolling around to the right side. He's trapped behind the line of scrimmage and put on his back by Darren Perry from Chesapeake, Virginia. The Nittany Lions line up with Ravati, Dieter, Benfati down. The backers are Gibbons, Donofrio, and Goganis are the 2 big inside guys. McKenzie is one of the leading pass rushers on the team. The secondary and the corners will be tested today. Of that you can be sure. It's second down and 10 from the Penn State 11. No score, first quarter, 9.5 minutes to go in the first period. Up the middle goes the big guy, Stephen McGuire. He is from Joe Paterno's hometown, Brooklyn. He's a 215-pound junior, and he's down for a 5-yard pickup. McGuire playing on a tender ankle. Martin Patton runs behind him, and then there's a redshirt freshman named Larry Jones who runs the ball like a tree falling on you. He weighs 245 pounds.
And he's the 3rd-string fullback.
Miami actually doesn't have defined backs. They have a single back, and now they have none. As McGuire goes in motion, Toretta pucks it into the end zone. Incomplete. Spencer had it on his fingertips and couldn't hold it.
Spencer is the slot back. He's going to come from our right side of the screen. Toretta looks to our left and then comes back. He was a little bit late getting this ball off, and the linebacker maybe just got a part of it, but should have had that ball. Just dropped it at the very end when he hit the ground.
Carlos Huerta in for a 24-yard field goal try. 6 out of 6 from this distance. 6 out of 6 on the year. Ball is down, the kick is up, and it is right down the highway. At 8:36 to go in the first quarter, the Canes go to the lead by 3. College football brought to you by Geo. Get to know Geo. Available right around the corner at your Chevrolet Geo dealers. By Heineken. Just being the best is good enough. By AT&T, the right choice. And by Pepto-Bismol, the one that coats is the only one you need. The deep people for Penn State now will be Shelly Hammonds, 21, and Richie Anderson, number 20. They're both running backs. Kicking off will be Carlos Huerta. He is a native son at 5'9", 185, and one of the best kickers in college football and has been throughout his career. They play on prescription turf here at the Orange Bowl, and it's cut very short. It is a fast track. For the second time today, Huerta puts it deep in the end zone. There will be no return. Tony Sacca will open up now for his second possession of the day. On 3rd and long, he shook off a couple of tacklers and completed a pass to Sam Gash that got the Lions moving and got some real estate for them in their first possession. You can judge here that Sacca is a tough guy. He's big and strong. This is 27th consecutive start. That's more than anybody else on the team. Gash lines up behind him. Jerry Collins is the leading rusher. Terry Smith, you saw in gold, is the wideout, and he has been the star of the team so far. Richie Anderson opens at the tailback position in this possession. Sam Gash has the ball right here, and the senior from Hendersonville, North Carolina, isn't going anywhere. The line up front for Penn State, this may be the Lions' basic weakness. It is not developed. There have been people hurt. There are some people who are not even here who were supposed to be part of it. And as a result, the Penn State running game just simply has not been working very well.
4 new starters in that offensive line this year, Keith, and they are good players. They just haven't played enough to really gel yet.
Pressure coming. Sacca sacked at the 14. Well, they just don't give you much more than an eye blink. That is the third sack already, and we've got 7:50 to play in the first quarter. Rusty Medeiros is the man that figures to put most of the pressure on the Penn State quarterback. But in watching Medeiros, you open the door for other people, and that last sack went to Michael Barrow. Number 57 is John Garak. He is the strong side guard, a senior from Struthers, Ohio. Looks like, however, he'll be back. So the ball comes back to the 14-yard line, where it is third down and 16 for Penn State. Dennis Erickson, the son of the great Northwest, having come down to Florida, and he's never lost a game in this stadium yet. Saka with a good play-action fake, drills one down the middle. The pass is complete for Penn State. The ball moves well upfield across the 30 to the 33, and it's caught by Troy Drayton, who lines up both at tight end and wide out, and he's playing more tight end now, and he was wide open.
Virginia Tech jumping out ahead of Florida State. They got behind last week against Syracuse.
First down for Penn State. The ball is at the 34-yard line. And once again, the Lions will get a little room behind their back, with Miami jumping to a 3-0 lead on a 24-yard field goal by Carlos Huerta.
Five-man defensive line for the Hurricanes.
This is an all Big Ten officiating crew, and it is the first time that Penn State has ever played under an all Big Ten crew. John Nealon, the referee.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. Still first down.
Of course, Penn State moves into the Big Ten effective 1993, when they'll start playing a schedule. And Joe Paterno's philosophy on it is take your own officials with you on the road and let them bring theirs when they come to see you.
Yeah, he's not a big proponent of split crews. One of the problems for Paterno and his offense especially are mistakes. There again, offensive linemen moving a little bit ahead of time. You saw the play before the pass play had a holding on one of his offensive linemen. He's had 40 penalties in the last 4 games.
First down and 15. Miami dancing around, and they are coming, but Saka has time, and the pass is incomplete. It was thrown high off the hands of Troy Drayton, and there was good coverage by Charles Farms. Let's check in for a moment with Roger Twabel.
Thank you very much, Keith. Just up the road in Orlando, after Casey Weldon pass was picked off several plays later, Will Furr to Michael Sturdivant. 45 yards on the touchdown pass. Sturdivant's first touchdown reception this year. Furr's 8th touchdown pass. Remember, last year, Tech led 21-3 before Florida State came back. Let's go to Keith.
Thank you, Roger. Well, being behind apparently doesn't seem to bother the Seminoles. Saka looking to set up a screen here. It does. Look at Gash, shake him off. Sam Gash, a hard, tough guy to bring down, picks up at least 6 on the carry, when he should really have been down for about a loss of 8.
That was the third time in the last 8 or 9 plays that the Hurricanes have blitzed. A screen pass should not work. That's why you saw all those Hurricanes out there. Gash broke a couple of tackles, but the speed of this Miami defense caught up with him and stopped him for like 3rd and 9 on this next situation.
John Garak is back in at the guard position, having had to leave the field for a moment. Third down and call it 9 for the Lions.
Here they come again.
Saka's pass is away. He has a man. The pass is complete to Richie Anderson out of the backfield. First down for Penn State at the Miami 31-yard line.
Well, when you blitz people, Keith, that's when you put your secondary man-to-man. Take a look at these linebackers as they're going to be coming in here to blitz. Now watch the back right here as he slides out and comes up the sideline. The Hurricanes are aggressive blitzing. When you do that, everybody in the secondary is man for man. Anderson's going to swing out on Williams, number 31, who's outstanding it himself. That time the offense wins.
31 of Miami. First down for the Lions. Check off by Saka. Little quick pop to the sidelines. Pass good to Chip LaBarca, number 3. And he picks up about 7 yards. Here is Jackaroot.
Keith, you were talking about the fast turf here. Go back 3 weeks ago in Ann Arbor, Michigan, when FSU played Michigan, and the turf, the PAT, was 3.5 inches tall, kind of like deep rough. Then we went to Tallahassee. We saw Syracuse against Florida State, and it was only about 1 inch tall. But look at this. It's less than 1/4 inch high. Fast tracking.
Thank you, Jack. Ball is at the 24. Second down, 3. Give it to the tailback. That is Collins. No, it's Anderson. Anderson from Sandy Spring, Maryland.
Number 20, Richie Anderson.
And they've got the first down.
Williams and Caesar make the stop for Miami. Bean is 5 yards.
Defensively this year, the Hurricanes have been outstanding. They've only allowed 2 touchdowns all season. They've played 4 games. Both of those touchdowns in the 4th quarter, and one against Houston on the last play of the game.
Collins is in at tailback. Showing a 5-man front for Miami. Saka back to throw, gets it away. Pass caught by the tight end Kyle Grady. Grady has got some muscles of his own, and at 6'6", 250, he ain't easy. And he's got the ball down to about the 15-yard line.
Well, the early story here, Keith, is that the Hurricanes are blitzing Saka. This is the 4th blitz. 56, there's the linebacker, Barrow. Saka sees it. Whenever a blitz comes, you throw quickly to your hot receiver. Forms number 2, Reddit is fighting for the football. He's thrown to 6 different receivers. Saka has completed 8 of his first 9 passes.
And if you're uncovered, you're the hot man, right?
They usually throw toward the blitz because that's where the man is going to be open.
The hole will be.
Yeah.
Handed off to Collins, the tailback. There's no hole there. Number 95 eats him up. That's Eric Miller. He is a senior from Palm Beach Gardens. So they'll still be looking at second down. It'd be third down and 5. Time remaining first quarter, 3:15. Score 3-0 Miami. 24-yard field goal. This the first real threat of the ball game by Penn State. Richie Anderson back in the backfield at tailback.
Penn State pretty good inside the 20 when they get there.
Terry Smith, a little gimpy, sore knee. He has been the Lions' big star at 5'8" and 155 pounds. Saka still got it. Heats on. Miss him. Turns it up. Looks to the end zone. Lets it go. Got a man in the end zone. Touchdown, Penn State. Terry Smith. Flag thrown. Hold the phone. The flag thrown. The ball is at the 10. Looks like it might come back.
Ineligible downfield on the offense. Repeat the third down.
That is critical, Keith. That is a critical. Now, we told you about the penalties for Paterno. He told us last night that he was really upset with his offensive line and some of the calls that were going against his team. But you just cannot come to a difficult place to play like the Orange Bowl, get your first scoring drive, and then have it pulled back away from you.
Somebody got confused along the offensive front when he rolled out. And they went too far downfield. So that brings them back 5 and puts the ball back on the 20, where it is third down and 10.
It was a great play by Saka.
Hands the ball off inside, running hard is Troy Drayton. And another penalty flag is down. One of those semi-Statue of Liberties, I guess you call it.
I've never seen that. Did you see what he did?
He just handed it behind his back.
He threw it behind his back.
Yeah.
5-yard face mask on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. First.
That's going to put Penn State in pretty good shape now. The ball will go down to about the 5-yard line, and it'll be first down and goal. Watch this play.
It's a little shovel pass.
Well, there's your face mask.
Yeah,
you don't see the pass, but a little shovel pass and thrown that way. It's a very good way to lose it, but they kept it.
Take a look at him. Watch the quarterback. He's going to throw it behind his back. Little timing on that play. Little practice, huh?
Keeps some interest, and it worked. First down and goal for the Lions. Saka gives it to Sam Dash, and there are 4 Hurricanes on his back.
You can't run a slow-developing play inside the 10 against a fast, aggressive team that's coming upfield.
Loss is 4 yards back to the 9. We're at second down and goal and 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
The loss is 5 yards.
I wonder if Joe Paterno had been talking to Bobby Bowden. That looks like a Bowden play, doesn't it?
Well, I don't think. Yeah, oh, that one, yeah. That's one of those things where you just run it so often. Occasionally, you'll just do it in practice, and you know, I'm surprised that Paterno would ever agree to let him do it that way.
May not have.
You're right.
Saka stands up and fires quickly, and it is incomplete. Trying to get the ball to O.J. McDuffie. And O.J. healthy again is hit just as the ball got there. Number 31 slowly getting up. That is Darrell Williams. This will be the 14th play in this possession for Penn State. They've eaten up a lot of time, but the mistake, their own mistake, cost them the go-ahead touchdown.
This is what Paterno wanted to do, and that is control the football. Not only running it, but throwing the short possession passes. That's the way he thinks he can beat Miami if he keeps the offense of Miami off the field and just controls the clock.
Saka takes off. Gets down inside the 5 to about the 3. He looked for Smith. He looked for Drayton. He looked for McDuffie. And by then he had no more time, so he took off. So now here comes the opportunity for Penn State to tie the ball game. They will go for 3 with Craig Fyack. And Fyack on the season is 5 of 12. Not very good. It's a 20-yarder. We're even at 3 with 44 seconds to go in the first quarter on the successful try by Thayer. The city of Miami was founded literally by this lady, Julia Tuttle, who came from Cleveland on a mail boat in 1875. She looked and said, my goodness, that might make a nice city. By golly, she was right. Way to go, Julia.
You think she envisioned anything like that?
No, I'm sure she didn't. And I'm sure if she were here, she'd probably take her stick to a lot of people and try to clean up some of the trouble they're having here, some of it unnecessarily.
Got a causeway named after her, the Julia Tuttle Causeway.
Yep. Ball is on the 35-yard line. Kevin Williams, watch him when he gets his hands on it. Remember now, you almost plucked one out of there with that punt while ago. Darrell Spencer is back there with him. Fyack will kick it off. Very fast track here. Low line drive. It bounces past Kevin Williams. He takes it on the 1. That's confidence. And gets back across the 20 to the 21. So there the Canes will go to work. And on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, the New York Giants will be in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. Jeff Hostetler and Lawrence Taylor going on down to Pittsburgh, where the rivers run together and the Steelers will bow their neck and try to knock their hats off. 9 Eastern time on ABC.
What a great job Hostetler's done. I think he's done a great job. Even though there's some people talking, I think they have 2 quality quarterbacks that can win.
Started at Penn State, transferred to West Virginia during his college days.
Yep.
Gino Torretta hands the ball to Stephen McGuire. Nothing fancy about McGuire. He just puts his hat on you and the shoulder into you and bangs at you.
5, second down and 5.
Torretta from Pinole, California. Family owns a tavern out there. His brother Jeff was a backup here at Miami.
You know, even though the score is tied, Keith, the advantage to the first quarter is to Penn State. We only have seconds left in the first quarter. Penn State has held the ball, had the ball for 2 possessions. Miami only 1 possession, and they've only had it for 6 plays. Big advantage for Penn State.
So they'll talk as the quarter ends. 3-3 in the Orange Bowl. It's a sunny day in Miami, and that's news after what they've had this past week. And the Hurricanes and the Penn State Nittany Lions are tied at 3. The Canes have the ball. Second down and 5 at their own 26-yard line. Torretta in the first quarter, no passing yardage. Good block there by Kevin Williams. and the ball is dropped by the tight end, Joe Moore. He was looking to run before he put the ball away, and he just flat dropped it.
Well, it's going great for Penn State. Time of possession big in their favor. And look at the passing yards right here. Miami, no passing yards in the first quarter. Joe Paterno drawing that up just the way he would like it.
The tight ends on the Miami football team don't get to see the ball very much. When you get a chance to catch it, you better catch it. Moore didn't.
Well, if they can force Toretta to throw to their tight end all day, they'd be in great shape.
You bet that. You got that right. Martin Patton is in the lineup.
Screen.
And Patton with the ball. And he's quick, too. And he's got a first down. The whole crowd's quick. They make you play all the field.
They certainly do.
On a hot day, boy, that can be a very difficult thing.
Well, defensively, what Penn State wants to do is just contain Miami. They use 3 wide receivers all the time. They throw to their back a lot. They want to contain them, let them catch the short stuff, and then come up and tackle the football, maybe get some turnovers, and offensively for Paterno, hold the ball, just like they did in the first quarter.
37-yard line for Miami, first down. Here's a hole for Martin Patton. First down, Hurricanes at the Penn State 47-yard line. Martin Patton is a sophomore from Missouri City, Texas.
Take a look from behind the defense. Just straight blocking by the offensive line. Guganis, number 42, right there is going to get blocked by one of the offensive linemen. That's a stretch play. Miami uses only 3 or 4 offensive plays. Everybody starts wide. Gaps created inside. The back finds the hole.
Toretta, stand up, lets it go. Down the sideline, pass is caught, out of bounds, pass is incomplete. Talking to Dennis Erickson yesterday, I asked him how he planned to go at him early on in the ball game.
Coverage by number 6.
Well, we feel offensively we've got to spread them out. They've got great linebackers that play the run. They're a very physical football team. We're going to try to spread them out and try to get some one-on-one situations in the passing game with our receivers on their linebackers, and then hopefully we can loosen that up and then be able to run the football a little bit.
Well, they went deep to stretch him vertically on that play, and the ball was caught, but caught out of bounds.
Penn State was blitzing there too, Keith. First time they've done that today.
They don't blitz much. They may have to today. Toretta's pass down the pipe. Pass is caught. Reeled in down on the 31-yard line by Darrell Spencer. Spencer is a junior from Merritt Island, Florida. At the conclusion of the game, we'll choose a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each team for the 21st year. The Chevrolet Scholarship Program, donating $1,000 to General Scholarship Fund to help needy students pursue their education. McGuire is back in the backfield as the single back for Miami now, and Martin Patton goes out. Trips to the top. Toretta fakes, lets it go to the end zone. That's too high, too long, and in the crowd. Horace Copeland was down there in Michigan.
Second down, 10.
In the annual with Michigan State.
Keith, one thing about this spread offense that Miami uses, they spread the field horizontally before the snap of the ball. It's easy for the quarterback to read the coverage and difficult for Penn State to disguise anything. When you have to spread from sideline to sideline, you really can't disguise much. You got to go line up where you're going to play.
Lee Rubin is the man playing center field right now, the free safety. Here's your running play with McGuire. Very good pursuit by Penn State. Rich McKenzie, advertised as a pass rushing outside linebacker, number 99, ran down that play.
Penn State defensively is very very highly ranked in the national standings. In fact, they're in the top 15 in most every defensive category that you look at. With a lot of experience returning. 5 fifth-year seniors on that side. A lot of speed. Probably, we talk about the speed of Miami. Penn State probably has more speed than they've ever had.
Right now, it's 3rd down and 14 for Miami. Toretta, a little quick one. Pass is caught by Spencer. Shakes one, but can't shake the others. And they're going to come up for 4th down and about 5.
General Spencer.
When you've got 4 guys that you can stand up and pop like that with the ball, get them out there, and if you get them a one-on-one, the chances are better than 50% they're going to make something out of the play.
Exactly right. Exactly right, and that's exactly what Paterno wants. He wants you to throw the short ones and then come up and make the tackles. Of course, Erickson thinks his guys can break those tackles with some big plays.
From the 35, it is a 45-yard try now by Carlos Huerta to untie the ball game. Joe Moore, the tight end, is the holder. The kick is on its way, and it's no good. Wide to the right. Still 3-3.
Last year, the average price of a car with standard anti-lock brakes was over $40,000. But today, all that's changed. Because we understand the real value of safety. We've put anti-lock brakes standard on more models than anyone. Even on our least expensive Cavalier. Chevrolet.
The heartbeat of America.
The cars more people depend on.
That's today's Chevrolet.
Well, this is a commercial for this ingenious personal portable CD player from Magnavox, the inventors of CD technology. It gives you incredible stereo sound. I'm sorry, actually, this is a commercial for this intelligent Magnavox 13-inch TV that has a built-in VCR that you can... I'm sorry, this is really a commercial for this brilliant Magnavox 52-inch TV with 100-watt Dolby surround sound. And I'm sorry, this is really a commercial for this clever little 8mm Easy Cam that weighs less than 2 pounds and can... I'm sorry, wrong again. This is supposed to be a commercial for this Magnavox 386 notebook computer. Hang on, I haven't finished. I'm sorry, you have.
The ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart.
Linen, no better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. Fine linen.
Tennessee sends its volunteer army into Alabama for an SEC showdown with the Crimson Tide next Saturday on ABC's College Football.
Well, I mean, after all, you are in Miami, right?
It's one of the big advantages that they have of playing here. They've won 40 straight games in the Orange Bowl, and one of the reasons is the weather. I think another is the Orange Bowl itself, but their fans, very intimidating. The field is very close to the stands and vice versa. And they've had a lot of talent. A lot of great talent has gone here. In fact, 36 players that played here are active in the NFL right now.
Brian Moser in at fullback. Tailback is Jerry Cullen. Onisaka gives it to him, and Collins pops straight ahead as Penn State starts just outside their own 27 and will swing to the north and Roger Twybo.
Well, thank you, Keith. And north of you guys up in Orlando, Florida State on the move. Late first quarter, Edgar Bennett around the left side. Nobody touches him. He steps in 8 yards in the touchdown run. And Florida State and Virginia Tech now tied up at 7 apiece. Let's go back to Keith.
Virginia Tech can be a troublesome bunch, so the Gobblers...
They were way ahead of them last year. Tech was ahead of State.
Back goes Secca. Whistles one. And the pass is caught. And it may be a first down for Bobby Ingram. He is a freshman from South Carolina.
Ingram is a true freshman, and not many true freshmen that walk into this program for Paterno get an opportunity to play in their first year.
They'll bring the chains on at 11:51 to play in the first half. You know, many people, when you talk about this series, I guess would say, well, you know, 87, when they played in the Fiesta Bowl, that was the big deal. Penn State beat #1 and won the national championship 14-10. Well, in 1979, Penn State came down here, and they were an overwhelming favorite to clobber Miami. A big old boy named Schnellenberger was a coach down here, and Howard had a kind of a thick-necked, tough kid from Pennsylvania named Kelly, who was a freshman quarterback. So he walked into Kelly and said, "Kid, you're starting tomorrow." And Kelly almost died, but he went out, threw for over 200 yards. Penn State won the ball game. I mean, Miami won the ball game over Penn State 26-10, and that set off the decade of the 80s for Miami, which is remarkable. Saka completes the pass to Drayton, and Drayton moves better than 10 yards, making 11 yards up the field, and another first down for the Lions. They're moving the ball very well. Here's Jack.
Keith, you know, Joe Paterno may be from the old school, but he's not afraid to try something new. Right behind me in this white box is a fax machine. It's attached to another fax machine up in the coach's box, high above you. Now, what they do is they fax down plays, actual plays and actual formations from the coaches up in the booth. Now, I checked with Dave Nelson, who's a part of the NCAA Rules Committee, says it's perfectly legal as long as there's no video and no photos.
David ain't part of it. He is. He's the guru of rules. But if you can draw pictures, that picture is a picture. Sack. I mean, a wallop by Rusty Medeiros, and that's the 4th sack.
This is the 4th sack already for the Hurricanes. Watch him, number 69 at the top of your screen is Pickett. Just runs around Pickett. Medeiros gets his 6.5 sack of the year. And if the Hurricanes can rush with those 4 guys up front and drop the other 7 and put pressure on Saka, it's going to be tough for him to get the ball off.
No, guys, that is not a misprint. He is only a sophomore. So if you're going to play these folks the next 2 years, you're going to be looking at him. He's going to grow and get better and better. This is Shelly Hammond, the reluctant running back who'd rather be playing in the defensive secondary. And he picks up about 7 yards.
The gain is 7 yards.
Next, ABC's college football offers regional games for you. Buckeyes of Ohio State against Illinois in Champaign. Oregon's at California. Cavaliers of Virginia at Clemson. Oklahoma, Texas at State Fair Days and the Cotton Bowl. Check the local listing next for our college football presentation. 3rd down. Make it 13. Saka running. Trip from behind. Great play by Darren Currens. Foot speed. Darren Crine, a sophomore from Aurora, Colorado, just ran him down.
Came here as a linebacker. We were talking to Erickson yesterday about the speed. He moves his players around at linebacker, shifted down the defensive end, makes a big sack on Saka.
The punter is number 4, Doug Helkowski.
Kevin Williams is back for the punt now. Doug Helkowski had 45 yards on his first punt, and Williams brought it back 46. 8:50 to go in the first half. 3-3 tie between Penn State and Miami. We're going to mark off 5 against the Lions.
Dead ball. Delay on the offense. 5-yard foul.
Let's pause 5 seconds to allow our ABC stations to identify themselves.
This is WFTV Channel 9 Orlando.
Now Helkowski will try to get it away with Williams waiting. We're taking a long time to get organized for a punt. Finally get it off. High hanger this time. Good one. Williams got a little room. That's a clip. That's a clip. They roll Williams down all the way down inside the 10, but you got to clip back upfield. It may be better just to take the play. – 50-yard punt. Good kick. The clip is marked off in the point of the foul. Let's see where they wind up putting the ball. Here's your clip right here.
Right there. Hits him from the back. The side judge, right at the bottom of your screen, you may have seen the flag fly in.
So John Nealon has had his talk. And here's the call.
Clipping on the return. Half the distance foul. First down Miami.
Joe's working through that shirt pretty quick, isn't he? Pretty long sleeve shirt down here in the Orange Bowl. It is hot and humid. We talked to him about that. He says we got to substitute his players, go too deep, both offense and defense.
So the penalty puts the ball back on the 7-yard line for Miami.
He may have to go
first down.
He may have to go to the second backup shirt at halftime.
You got Patton in there at the single back behind Toretta. Toretta will throw it out of the end zone. Lets it go downfield, incomplete. Spencer was the man down there. He was being covered by Derek Bonner.
Number 35.
Bonner is a converted running back. In high school, he broke all of Tony Dorsett's rushing records in the state of Pennsylvania. He, again, is a sophomore. Not many guys play as freshmen. He started some games as a sophomore, as a freshman, excuse me.
We have not heard from Copeland yet. McGuire lines up in the backfield. He gets the ball. And he gets out across the 10 to the 12. And D'Onofrio is on the tackle for Penn State. Mark from North Bergen, New Jersey. Number 38. He calls the defensive signals there for the Lions. 7 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the first half.
He's got a wristband there. D'Onofrio gets the signal from the sideline and looks at a wristband. I've never seen a linebacker look at his wristband. I've seen quarterbacks, but never the defensive guy.
Moving him around now, changing his play. Dropped the ball. Penn State's got the ball. But let's see.
A dead ball, illegal snap on the offense. 5-yard foul.
So Penn State has the ball, but it doesn't count. Miami almost makes a critical mistake.
We used to do that over the sandlot. The old center would have them all set up, and he'd put it about 3 feet back and pull it back down. That worked every time, too. I haven't seen that in about 30 years.
Bad place to be trying it right here. It's 3rd down and 10. Copeland, no chance. He let it go deep. Copeland has run it up the sideline and then turned it in, but Beretta was getting some heat, so he just let it go out of the end zone, and now they'll have to punt it. And now there's going to be a little pressure on the Miami defense because Penn State's going to get very good field position out of this.
Penn State is doing exactly what they want. Contain the Miami offense, come up and knock them down if they catch the ball, and control the ball offensively when Penn State has it.
The kick is out of there by Paul Snyder. Good kick. 48-yard line for McDuffie. Back to the 35 goes O.J. And there the Lions will have the ball and go to work. 41-yard punt and a 12-yard return. And Penn State, pretty good field position.
Stood there boldly, sweating in the sun. Felt like a million. Felt like number one. Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me. Like a rock, I was something to see. Like a rock,
The trucks you can depend on, the trucks that last.
like a rock,
Chevy trucks.
standing arrow straight. Like a rock, charging from the gate. Like a rock, carrying the weight. Like a rock, oh, like a rock.
There's a reason more people go to Sears for a new battery.
Can't believe I left my lights on.
Only Sears has the Die Hard. Sears is so confident of Die Hard starting power, if you need a jump, Sears will do it absolutely free. Anytime, anywhere, even if you leave your lights on.
I got stranded once. Never again.
Sears Die Hard. More power when you need it most.
Who's going to back you better than Sears?
Oh, he came out of Brooklyn, a skinny kid, went off down to Providence to begin his legendary march through college football. Played on a Brown team that was 8-1, returned punts and kickoffs with a better than 20 yards average. went over to Penn State on Rip Ingles' staff. 16 years later was the head man. 26 years later, still the head man. Joe Paterno. Lions go to work from the 35. The play's good for a yard by Richie Anderson. And here's Roger.
Thank you very much, Keith. The Seminoles offense has struggled today against Virginia Tech, but their defense is playing awfully well. Will Furr, the pass over in the flat. Terrell Buckley with his 5th interception of the year. The 2nd time he's taken one back for a touchdown. 14 career interceptions for Buckley, and Florida State leads at 14-7. Keith.
And Buckley, he's pretty good. 2nd down and 9. A little quick. That's not good. Number 24, O.J. McDuffie, is not happy about the circumstance, squawking about it, but he was on his back by the time the ball got there.
There's no question that sack has been the story here. He's thrown for 123 yards. He's 11 of 13. The only problem is he's been sacked 5 times. Penn State's getting their yardage through the air. They're -6 yards on the ground.
Jerry Collins is in the backfield with Sam Gash now at 6 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the half. 3rd down and 9. Saka getting heat. Now gets a little help. Got a man, but he can't seem to get the ball under control and get the pass away, and he is brought down at the 28-yard line of Miami, 3 yards short of the 1st down. Kevin Patrick was number 86 in orange. It was chasing him all over the place until he finally got some help from a lineman peeling back the block on the play. But the thing was about the Penn State receivers, Bob, there was nobody in the end zone. When you got your quarterback scrambling around that much, I would think somebody would be looking for the end zone.
Well, one of them should have been, but there were a couple open, as you mentioned. Yep. He just didn't see him and get the ball to him.
5.5 minutes to go in the 1st half. 4th down. And here's Craig Fayette. 46 yards on this try. Squeezes it. Good. A little huffing and puffing, but it got over at 5:20, and the Lions have gone to the lead again, 6-3.
You could call one company to take your package to an address across town. And you could find somebody to take your package to any address cross-country. Then you could call a third outfit that could take your package overseas. And yet another that could take your package overnight. But there's only one company you could call if you only wanted to make one call.
At BASF, we don't make the plane. We make it lighter. We don't make the lotion. We make it smoother. We don't make the dress. We make it brighter. We don't make the carpet. We make it tougher. At BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy. We make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF, the spirit of innovation.
A company can learn a lot in 125 years. As you learn, you make your product better and better. 125 years of quality. That's why people who know use Valvoline.
Imagine a rent-a-car company that offers special delivery right to your door. That's Enterprise.
Here, let me help you.
Enterprise, a special rent-a-car company that gives you special delivery.
Penn State holding on to the football. They wind up with a 46-yard field goal by Craig Fayette. And they lead in the ball game 6-3. And I don't know that many people really expected this. This is the first time this year that Miami has been behind.
Well, that really wasn't a good drive.
Been behind twice.
Yeah, they've been behind twice, and Penn State, everything's going their way. They're holding the ball. That was not a good drive. They got it on the 35-yard line of Miami. Only kept it for 3 plays and then kicked the field goal.
All right, here's your kicker. And waiting to get it. And they want to have it is Kevin Williams, and they kick it right to him at the 6. And he's down at the 28-yard line. Last Thursday night, a young man named Greasy, wearing number 8, playing in a high school football game. This one, Ryan. This one's good. He's bigger and stronger than his daddy. But there's Dad rooting him on. It was a tough, hard ball game, but they wound up losing in overtime, 24-21, their first loss.
You learn a lot from losing.
Columbus High School, Brian plays for.
Yes, he does.
And they lost to
Southridge. Coach at Southridge was a former assistant coach at the University of Miami, Don Soldier, and they're doing a nice job.
So, Brian, get your head up. There's better days to come. The old line, that play doesn't go anywhere as the Penn State defense is controlling things right now. You keep telling them, well, you'll learn more from losing until the end of the season. The kid says, hey, Dad, I'm the most educated son of a gun in town.
I want to win some. I don't want to learn.
Call it 2nd down and 8 now.
Gino only 3 of 10 for 35 yards.
McGuire goes in motion. Gets the ball. He shook off that first man. They tried to knock him out of bounds, and McGuire put a shoulder on him and got it up across past the marker near the 39-yard line for a first down. Tomorrow night, the ABC Sunday night movie. John Stamos, Joanna Kearns, and Barry Bostwick starting in an ABC world premiere based on a shocking true story called Captive. Family moving out into the country for a new life, and it didn't turn out that way for them. It's 9, 8 Central tomorrow night on ABC. Martin Patton. And coming out of the backfield in motion, Toretta takes off. That's an option play. He can do it if he feels like it's available to him. It looks like a quarterback draw. But it's available to him whenever he wants to use it, and he picks up 4 yards.
Well, you spread everybody out of the backfield. They really have no run threat when you send the back out, and the only back that can run is the quarterback. And occasionally they'll try it.
So it's 2nd down and 6 for the Canes. They trail, Penn State leading 6-3. This is McGuire. McGuire hit at the line of scrimmage, will rumble for a couple of yards, and that's all. And here's Roger again.
Stopped by 96.
Thank you very much, Keith. In East Lansing, it's that man again, Desmond Howard. Watch this, the pass from Gerbach and the great catch in the corner of the end zone. 12-yard touchdown reception, his second of the day. Howard has 10 touchdown catches on the year and 12 TDs overall. Keith.
Ball sets here for number 2 ranked undefeated Miami. Just short of their 42-yard line. 3rd down and 3 against a determined Penn State team. Toretta fakes it, keeps it, throws it, gets his first down. And making the catch is Coleman Bell, a junior from Tampa, and he proves a tough customer to bring down as he goes for a first down, moving the football over to the Penn State side of the field at the 36.
But with 2 minutes and 46 seconds to play, it's a big first down conversion for the Hurricanes. Toretta showing some of his ability to get outside. Bonner, 35, misses the tackle. That's Powell, 47. Bounces off. No, that's right. Excuse me. But Coleman Bell comes up with a big 3rd down conversion.
But these people are big people. You know, he's a 225-pounder. The fella just caught that ball. And even though he's big, he still runs like the wind. Toretta's got a problem, but shakes it off. And the ball is batted down. Batted down by number 97, Tyoka Jackson.
Batted away by 97.
Joe Paterno talking about how do you defense Miami yesterday said this.
The problem with their offense defensing is they stretch you to where you've got to go out with them, and if you go out with them, then you can leave the 4 guys around the football as they do on defense, and then those 4 guys have got to be good enough to put some pressure on the quarterback. Now, if you don't stretch with them, and you come in there and you got to use 5, 6 people to go after the quarterback, then you got to be some kind of man, and they eat you alive outside. They're just too good outside.
Done a pretty good job with it so far today. That's a pretty nifty move by Martin Patton, and that move opens the door for him, and he now comes over here and says to the crowd, quit sitting on your hands. Let's hear you.
This is what he was talking about. Look at the Hurricanes stretch you wide from one side of the field to the other. They move some linebackers out, only have 2 left inside here, and then the running play is going to go up inside. They spread you out before snap. The linebackers get blocked by Searcy, that's 73, and that's why Miami's running game is so good, because their pass game forces you to spread thin up the middle.
Just that much short. Searcy is a good one, 6'3", 290, fifth-year senior from Orlando. He'll be playing, starting somewhere else in that other league next year. Joe's alma mater getting out to a 7-0 lead. McGuire is the single back. McGuire has it. Well, he didn't get the first down. I mean, that took too long. He's sitting back there about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. By the time he got up to Toretta, Penn State had already penetrated and made the defensive play.
Big decision here for Dennis Erickson. He's going with the field goal.
This will be to tie. Second time today that Huerta will try to tie it up.
The attempt from 45 yards out.
Just outside the 35, add 10, 45 yards. Plenty of leg on it this time, and it's good. So we're all even again. 6-6, 1:31 to play in the first half.
Miami wishes to thank all those.
1 minute and 31 seconds to play. That's Sebastian. He's the Ibis, the mascot of Miami. We have an historic document which we shall reveal to you before the day is done regarding the now famous Ibis.
University of Miami thanks you.
It is a bird, not a plant. All right, a 45-yard field goal by Huerta to tie after Fayak kicked a 46-yard field goal to give Penn State the lead. Shelly Hammonds and Richie Anderson will go deep for Penn State. Huerta kicks it off. High and long and well back into the end zone, and Hammonds will not return it. Penn State will go to work at the 20. At halftime, we'll have this for you, unless, of course, the Senate Judiciary Committee goes back into session with its hearings, and then there'll be some coverage of that here on ABC. The Dan Bitson story. It's quite a remarkable story. You'll want to see that. If we don't get it on this week, we'll get it on another week, because it's quite remarkable. The Prudential halftime report. 20-yard line now for Penn State. What do? Go for broke or go to the clubhouse tied, Bob?
Well, I think they're going to be conservative, but if something opens up, they're going to take it. There's plenty of time.
Run it. Anderson picks up 4.
There's a minute and 25 seconds, and what you want to do is run some plays to see if you can pick up a first down. If you do, then you want to hurry up. But if you're not doing so well, you want to pick up a first down, hold the ball so you don't have to give it up to Miami. And then the way that first play went, it looked like they're just going to hold it to keep it away from Miami.
In that battle for the national championship out in Tempe, Arizona, remember there were 7 turnovers in that game by Miami. Penn State's defense dominated inside the 20, and they're doing a pretty good job of it today. And now they're starting to get a little ground game going, and if Penn State starts running the ball, things might get a little tedious in this second half. Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining, less than a minute to go. 48 seconds. The ball moves out to the 35 for the first down. Saka's pass complete to O.J. McDuffie at the 40. That's a pickup of 5. And you got 38 seconds. You saw that Florida State had gone back to the lead over Virginia Tech, 20-14.
5-yard gain.
So they're going to need a 3-digit scoreboard up there in Tallahassee one of these days. I wonder if it's dry up there today.
We had enough rain last week to last him for the year.
Didn't they?
Looks like Paterno is just going to be happy just running out the clock.
Does.
Now Saka. Again, Smith is downfield in the middle of the field. McDuffie had come down the sidelines, and neither man had gone deep.
But now you're in an entirely different situation. You're across the 50-yard line, or you're across the 45-yard line. A couple of passes will put you down in field goal range.
First down and 10.
Here comes Bobby Ingram back into the game now. He replaces Sam Gash. That means they've got McDuffie, Smith, and Ingram in there. And Drayton. Drayton can also run. So he's got 4 flyers in there. And don't believe all that nonsense about big old slow Penn State. These guys can run too. Fumble. Saka drops the football and has to cover it. He did not come off the snap cleanly. And I think this time they had a deep call on. But Saka dropped the ball.
Well, you got 3 timeouts left. You need to take one, and they did, but they wasted about 4 or 5 seconds.
So you got 24 seconds to play in the first half, and the Lions spend the timeout. Let's see if they leave the deep call on, because that time they clearly had one going deep. The Ibis family we were talking about a while ago, Sebastian the mascot, it's an ancient group. Fossil records go back some 60 million years. There's the real thing. Isn't that handsome? Called the wimp of the Everglades, according to some people, but other people say that's not true. That the ibis is the last bird to leave before a hurricane and the first bird to come back after the hurricane. And Sebastian, he never goes anywhere without his hurricane.
And I'm glad we showed what the real ibis looked like, because there's a lot of kids in Miami that think the ibis looks like that mascot.
You're probably right. I got news for you that a lot of kids in Montana didn't know it existed. 44-yard line, where it is a 2nd down and 11 for Penn State. After our game today, these are regional games that will be taking place, so you want to check your local listing starting about 3:30. And this is the first pork day at Champaign we've missed in 4 years. My waistline thanks you.
But that pork is good, huh?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Boy. Saka with a 12 of 15 day. He has had 5 sacks, however.
Well, he goes underneath to Richie Anderson, and it trickles off Anderson's hands and is incomplete, and that stops the clock at 20 seconds. I'm not sure that Joe feels too strongly about his 2-minute offense here.
Well,
if not doing much.
You've heard about the displeasure or the conflict between Saka and Paterno. It's because of the last 2 plays. Saka dropped the ball from the center on they're trying to get a 2-minute offense going. Then the next play, he tries to throw a touch screen pass, and that's not really his strength. He's big and he can throw the ball downfield, but he just does not have the touch, doesn't make all the plays.
Why doesn't he just load the gun and throw it down the middle? This is Richie Anderson. He's running for a first down. He's down to the 35-yard line, but that'll stop the clock with 13 seconds. They still got time to give it a shot. Timeout called by Penn State. They'll have one more.
I'm Al Michaels. Join us on ABC's Monday Night Football when we go to Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, where the New York Giants, led by Jeff Hostetler and the emerging star Rodney Hampton, take on the Pittsburgh Steelers with Bubby Brister and Eric Green as they try to stay in contention in the AFC Central. Giants Steelers Monday night.
Drama, tension. The historic hearings continue as Clarence Thomas defends his name and honor. Stay with ABC News for live updates and special reports.
Franny's doing a little head shaking over there too right now, the offensive coordinator for Penn State.
Yeah, he and Joe work together, call the plays. He'll call most of them, Fran, and then Joe will come and say, well, let me call them for a while. I think I got a hot hand here. Ganner says that Saka really understands the offense a lot better this year. That's why he's doing so much better. And Joel has said that it's Saka's team. As Saka plays, that's as far as we're going to go. He's a 4th-year senior. He started as a true freshman. And
if you got a gimmick play, though, Bob, isn't this a pretty good place to pull it?
I don't think so, Pete. I think you throw it down, you throw it into the end zone, or try a little quick out, pick up 5-10 more yards.
Either you're going to set up a field goal or you go for 6.
Right.
He had 2 people in the end zone, but he pulled it down.
They had him going down there, but they were covered, and you either have to throw it. I don't know if he got enough to kick the field goal here or not.
He got 5 seconds. That's the only choice they've got here, unless they just want to throw a Hail Mary to the end zone, and they'll bring in Fayak, the sophomore from Bell Vernon.
Be about a 42-yard attempt.
Well, he hit from 46, and he hit from 20. So this would give Penn State the lead going to the clubhouse at halftime. We're tied at 6. This is a 42-yarder in about 6. Blocked. Covered by Fayak. Miami was all over that thing. They were trying to get a hold of it and go the other way. So it is Miami that goes to the clubhouse on a high, not Penn State. It didn't like the snap was all that good. It was a low skidding snap. He never got it down. The kick never got up. And we finished the first half tied at 6. And we'll be back for the halftime after this message and the word from our ABC station. Miami 20, Penn State 13. And it is 3rd down and 6 for Miami at their own 32-yard line. So they got to have this one in order to keep the football, although has to give it up. Torretta rolls out, gets his pass away down the middle. The pass is complete to Joe Moore, the tight end. And Joe Moore rumbles for a first down at the Penn State 42. And they just took momentum right out of Penn State's pocket.
You're exactly right, Keith. This is a big conversion, 3rd down conversion. The Penn State team had come back very nicely, scored the touchdown, and if Miami had to give the ball back up, Penn State would have been right back on the field.
Gino Torretta in the first half was 5 out of 13 for 61 yards for Miami. Here in the second half, he's 8 out of 10 for 140 and a touchdown. That is Patton in motion. It's Lamar Thomas on a fly to the corner. Touchdown, Miami!
Talked about the big plays. Thomas is 36. Bonner, number 35, is in a deep zone. His back pedal, he stayed in it too long. He needed to turn and run quicker and sooner. The speed of Miami and Thomas causes that touchdown right there.
Thomas is 6'3", 170 pounds. He is indeed a splendid splinter. And he can block. The try for the point by Huerta is no good. So he missed one last week, and bang, here comes another one. 14:43 to play in the game. 26-13 Miami.
It's not Waterford Crystal or a Hasselblad lens. It's a headlamp. And if you think that's impressive, wait till you see what's attached. Introducing the new Lexus ES 300 Sport Sedan.
Number 2 ranked Miami, playing number 9 ranked Penn State, and it's now number 2, 26, and number 9, 13 after Lamar Thomas's gallop.
And they're doing it with the big play, Keith. That touchdown that we showed, the long one, was a first down play in the drive, 80 yards to Copeland. And that play right there, another big play.
I think Penn State's losing some of their zest, too, in this heat and humidity. It just wears on you after a while, especially when the opposing team is blitzing you all the time and making you play the whole field and running you to death. This is Shelly Hammonds from Barnwell, South Carolina, bringing the ball up across the 20 to about the 22 for the Lions.
Well, this is, look at the 3-deep zone right here. This is what Penn State has been doing all day. Let's go ahead and run this now. And you'll see, you stop it right there. The defense, all three are deep. Now watch as the receiver is just going to run right by the outside man in that zone. Gets caught a little flat-footed, and the speed just takes him by him.
And Toretta was right on the numbers with it. It's Anderson and Gash lined up in the backfield for Penn State. Ball at the 23-yard line. First down. Pitch it back to Anderson. And call it a bump in the road right there. This is what has happened basically so far. Miami on the big plays. Copeland and Williams and his punt return of 91 yards, plus Thomas for the touchdown. And Saka having a very good day, but right now Toretta has forged ahead and his team leads by 13.
Penn State's philosophy all day was take your time, a lot of short plays, ball control. It was working for the first half. Miami in the third quarter, 3 big plays, all producing touchdowns.
Second down and 10 for Penn State. Saka has some time, gets his pass away, misses Gash. I think Tony had so much time there, he didn't understand it. Didn't feel right. Because he's had a guy in his face all day today,
yes, he has.
So that'll bring up third down with 14 minutes and 47 seconds to play in the ball game. And with Penn State showing, I thought, great will to come back from being down 20-6 after 2 big plays. They come back and score to make it 20-13 and then get hit again by a bolt of lightning. Third and 10 right here. Pass is incomplete. There's a penalty flag thrown by the referee, John Nealon, out of the Big Ten. That pass hit somebody in the back of the head. But let's see about the penalty. Personal foul against the passer, roughing the passer.
Give him a flag.
And so Miami makes a mistake.
It's a key mistake, too, because that's like a turnover. Miami had stopped them, would have gotten possession of the ball. This way, Penn State continues with their drive. That's just like a turnover, that penalty.
So Dennis Erickson paces the sidelines, and he'll find the culprit, and they'll probably give him a piece of his mind. And Joe Paterno is fortunate and feels good about getting a respite on the other side. That's the 7th penalty today against Miami for 79 yards. First down for the Nittany Lions, and Shelly Hammonds now comes in at tailback. He's got the ball. He's got some daylight. And he's got a first down as he gets up to midfield, and there is another penalty flag, and that might be a face mask. Hurley Brown was over there wrestling with him, and I tumbled him out of bounds and looked like a face mask. Whoa, that's a big one. So 2 big mistakes by Miami. Carlos Huerta is our Honda Scholar Athlete of the Week, brought to you by American Honda. He's the senior place kicker, University of Miami. In last week's win over Oklahoma State, he had his record of 157 consecutive extra points ended. He missed one here today, but he is a 3.13 major in finance. He is a native son from Coral Gables, and Honda wants to recognize Carlos Huerta for his academics and for his athletics, presenting a $3,000 award to the General Scholarship Fund of the University of Miami.
He's a walk-on, too, Keith.
Yep. Ball is down at the 34-yard line now with Jerry Collins at tailback. Gets the ball, a little misdirection, taken down behind the line of scrimmage by Big Eric Miller, number 95.
The slow developing plays do not work against a fast, quick defensive team that's blitzing a lot upfield.
25. Loss is from the 34 back to the 38. Second down and 14.
Second down and 14 from the 38. Second quarter score, Rice 17, Baylor 7.
Terry Smith, who caught the touchdown pass, the second TD pass, or the only touchdown today for Penn State. Wide picture. Saka off play action, throws underneath in the coverage to Moser, the fullback. And Ryan Moser will move the ball to the 25-yard line. That's going to be about a half a yard short of a first down. So Penn State again is moving, but they're down by 13 points.
I think this just shows you the discipline that the Penn State team has. Paterno has always been a great disciplinarian, do things the team way. The team comes first. You wait your turn at Penn State. Usually the juniors and seniors play. The sophomores and freshmen wait.
3rd and a half a yard. Jerry Collins, I don't know.
Number 23, Jerry Collins carries.
They'll measure.
Timeout for a measurement.
That close. So the change a coming. The officials today, as we told you, all Big Ten. First time we've had an all Big Ten crew. Nealon, the referee. Ed Manning, the umpire. Ed Peters, the head linesman. Line judge is Tom Hoffman. Richard Hornig, the side judge. Field judge is Bob Colburn, and the back judge is Richard Reels. And the reason they are all Big Ten people is because Penn State is a member of the Big Ten Conference now and will start football play in 1993.
There's a 97 is Hamlet, 76 there is Caesar. Miami, those are defensive tackles. Miami's got a pair of Shakespearean tackles in the middle of that line.
4th and short, and the quarterback Saka will have it. Miami guys went underneath, but Tony is a big tall guy at 6'5" and 225, and so he just simply went over the stop and got his first down. Games to follow this one: Ohio State, Illinois, Oregon, California, Virginia, Clemson, and Oklahoma, Texas. Down in the Cotton Bowl. Check your local listing for the game in your area. And if we hurry, Bob, we can have time to stop in Dallas and get a corn dog.
Corn dog, huh?
Yeah.
And Jason Verduzco is something else, isn't he, for Illinois?
Yes, he is.
Unbelievable.
Illinois is a getting better team every week.
They lost their entire defense. That's the biggest surprise to me.
Back. Looks at McDuffie. Should have thrown it. Should have thrown it because Rusty Medeiros was coming, and he didn't hear him, and Rusty got him his second sack of the day for Medeiros, and that's number 8 for the Penn State quarterback. Either 7 or 8.
Medeiros, number 98, right there in the center of the screen, is blocked. Saka wants to go to this wide receiver. This is a coverage sack, but give credit to Medeiros. He doesn't give up. Saka had to reload. Nobody was open, and Medeiros just kept coming after him and made the play.
Make it 7 sacks. And so that brings him back 7 yards, 2nd down and 17. Reverse, McDuffie will throw it if he gets a chance.
Now he's getting fancy.
Now he's going to run. And he almost ran for a first down. That's a very good gain and a good play by O.J. McDuffie. And you got a penalty flag at the end of the play. You got a Miami man down. .95, Eric Miller is the man down for Miami. And let's see about the penalty. Personal foul is on Miami. So they're going to get dinged with a personal foul of 15 yards. They're going to lose, looks like, Eric Miller, who's been a stalwart in the defensive line for them today. And so once again, Penn State is down knocking on the door with 9:54 to play in the game, and the Canes leading 26-13. We talked earlier about this series. This goes back to 1987, the Fiesta Bowl out in Arizona, when Testaverde was intercepted on the final possession. Miami had 7 turnovers in that ball game, and Penn State claimed its first national championship. As Joe Paterno walks the sidelines with 234 victories, he is tied coming into this ball game for 5th all-time with Bo Schembechler. Next target, Woody Hayes at 238.
And you see he is the winningest active coach in Division I.
All right, Penn State comes up now on 1st down and goal from the Miami 9-yard line. Sacka back. Goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Terry Smith. The little man is playing gimpy. Sore knee. He catches his 2nd touchdown pass of the day. And the Nittany Lions are back in the ball game.
Great throw by Sacka. Sacka's going to look left the entire way. He's going to have a man in his face just as he releases the ball. That's Medeiros, 98. Smith takes a little bit late getting free. McNeil, 47. Keeps coming to the inside. Nice play, good throw, good read.
This is a big point right here. It's good. It is now a 6-point lead for Miami with 9:35 to play.
It's not Waterford Crystal or a Hasselblad lens. It's a headlamp. And if you think that's impressive, wait till you see what's attached. Introducing the new Lexus ES 300 Sports Sedan.
If you have a house as messy as this, and a son as helpful as this, get a shop vac. Look at the power this baby's got. A shop vac wet dry picks up everything from nails and wood chips to broken glass to gallons of water.
Thanks for the car, Dad.
Yep, there's no telling when you'll need the power of a shop vac.
Don't forget to get Steam Team, the attachment that turns any shop vac into a powerful carpet cleaner.
I don't want gimmicks. I want just a phone company I can count on.
You know, we're going to see this dramatic drop in our phone bill, and we didn't.
And it was just like a hassle figuring out both bills, both sets, and so we just said, hey, you know, we just scrapped it.
The service wasn't there. So I went to AT&T and stayed with AT&T.
And I've been happy with them ever since, and it's just been great.
Get back the service and value you deserve. Come back to AT&T now for free.
In that scoring possession, Penn State was assisted by 3 Miami penalties that provided first downs. On one of those penalties, they had stopped them on 3rd down, and the penalty occurred to give them the first down. It's a crowd of 75,723, and now 26-20 ball game as Miami will get it with Kevin Williams and Darrell Spencer deep.
We were talking about the penalties on that last Penn State drive, Keith. There is no question that it helps an offense when the defense commits penalties that keeps their drive going, especially 15-yard penalties.
The kick is fielded by Spencer, almost got over his head. Gets a little crack and comes on back up to about the 28-yard line. And there Miami will go to work. First down, and here's Roger.
Thank you very much, Keith. We told you about the story concerning Dan Bitson, the young man from the University of Tulsa. Julie Moran with that story about his comeback from a terrible, devastating auto accident to once again play college football. We will have that report for you later. Bitson on course to break Bob Greasy's former teammate's college receiving record at Tulsa, Howard Twilley. Now let's go back to Keith.
We've had a penalty flag thrown on that kickoff return. It's against Miami, so the Hurricanes now are in a penalty funk. Illegal procedure was the indication of the penalty, and the information now given to D'Onofrio.
Illegal positioning on the kickoff by Miami.
D'Onofrio says no thanks. We'll let them have the ball at the 28-yard line, and that's where they are.
What that might be, Keith, is you have to have 5 men within 10 yards of the ball. Obviously, the Hurricanes didn't do that.
No, they peeled him back before he hit the ball. So here we go with Toretta lining up and McGuire behind him. Toretta keeps it, gets his pass off to the tight end Moore. And Moore will get up across the 35 for a 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Who's down? Moore, the tight end. Holding his ankle. Timeout for the injured player. 9:20 to play in the ball game, and there's only a difference of 6 points.
As we approach the 1992 Olympic Games, many are striving to be their best. They call him Iron Legs. But Richard Lowe isn't an athlete. He's a letter carrier on some of the coolest hills in San Francisco. The 750,000 workers of the Postal Service are proud to sponsor the 1992 Olympic Games and share with you the quest to be the best. We deliver for you.
Just how realistic is the audio system in the Lexus LS 400?
We're still waiting for the injured player to leave the field of play, and apparently he has now. It'll be Miami's ball. The ball is just beyond the 35-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and short 3. And Joe Moore now is on the sideline. I thought it was an ankle hurt, but they're looking and talking to him as if it's something to do with the head. And Eric Miller, when he came off the field, he was holding his head, so he apparently got hit in the noggin. So here we go. On 2nd down with the Canes leading 26-20. Number 2, Miami, having a struggle with number 9, Penn State. This is Stephen McGuire, and he stopped just short of his first down, it would appear. Let's spend a moment with Jack.
Keith, you look down here on this, you can see that the temperature is just 90 degrees, typical Miami weather. Well, the humidity is up over 90%, typical Miami weather as well. Now, I know Bo said at halftime that he didn't think heat and humidity would come into play here, but it certainly does. As you look at the Penn State players, they have done very well. But interesting to note, on the Miami sidelines, what they're doing is they are giving their players oxygen after each series of downs. On the Penn State side, the same can't be said. In fact, they've got 2 less fans than the Miami Hurricanes.
Well, that's called home field. It was a first down by just a smidgen. And so the Canes will work now with 4 more snaps, and they've got 4 wideouts. Now 5 with the back going in motion. That leaves 4 to protect the quarterback down the middle. The pass is underthrown, intended for Spencer, and Spencer was the only man available. And Toretta was turned upside down, and the crowd was hooting and hollering about that. 75,723 on a sunny afternoon in Miami, Florida. Florida State, we were up there last week in Tallahassee, which prompted our comment about the rain in Tallahassee. The Seminoles over in Orlando today playing Virginia Tech. But Florida State has had enough rain in the last 2 weeks to last almost a year. Boy, has it rained down there.
Well, we had a drought situation about 8-10 months ago.
Yep. On 2nd and 10, Toretta gets it away quicker. And it's a short pickup of about 6 yards to Horace Copeland, brought down by Leonard Humphreys. Let's pause 5 seconds here so our ABC stations can tell you who they are.
This is WFTV Channel 9 Orlando.
Keith Jackson, Bob Greasy, who got to drive to work today, and Jack Arute enjoying the ball game. Third quarter was explosive. There were 3 touchdowns scored in the third quarter. 2 big plays by Miami. Penn State down by 2 touchdowns twice now in the second half. They've come back to score. They are only 6 points down now. Pass is incomplete. Pass intended, in fact, on the hands of Horace Copeland, and he didn't handle it. You see the Seminoles now are Looks like they're about to put Virginia Tech away, and the same goes for Michigan over Michigan State. Look at Nebraska. Wisconsin out ahead of Iowa, and Colorado over Mizzou.
Wisconsin's done a nice job coming back, rebuilding that program. Alvarez, Coach Alvarez, is it?
Yep, Barry Alvarez. Here's the punt on 4th down. Snyder gets it away. That's Terry Smith back. Fair catch at the 20. They got sure hands back there. And so Penn State now will go to work first down on its own 20-yard line after a high-hanging 34-yard punt Monday night on ABC. The New York Giants and the Pittsburgh Steelers will be at it in Three Rivers. And the Steelers scratching along in the AFC Central, and the Giants trying to get themselves on track to get back into the playoffs and head toward another Super Bowl ring. 9 o'clock Eastern Time, ABC's Monday Night Football.
Tell you, the Steelers at home can be tough.
Yep. All right, the crowd comes up for the Miami defense. Let's see if they go after him. They've blitzed a lot here in the second half. Saka gives it away to Sam Gash. And Sam gets a couple of yards before he is rolled down. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
And the Hurricanes are blitzing again almost every down, Keith. If Saka can get some protection and get the ball to one of his speedy wide receivers, you have an opportunity to make a big play in that secondary.
The Hurricanes do not have a comfort zone on the scoreboard.
Here they come.
Passes away to O.J. McDuffie. McDuffie is in the arms of James, and the wrestling match goes on short of the first down.
Herbert James.
McDuffie missed last week's game with a knee injury. He missed last year because of injury. But he is a quality player.
3rd down and 3 for Penn State. To McDuffie. First down up at the 32-yard line.
Back up. First down, Penn State.
Just a quick hitch, 3rd and short, just goes down 4 or 5 yards and makes the play, picks up a first down.
You got to give him a little cushion because he is one of those fast wideouts you were talking about.
They've got some speed. Penn State has speed at wide receiver. Miami is not the dominant defense as they have been in the past either, Keith. They do not have that big dominant defensive lineman. They've had a player in the defensive line drafted in the 1st round of the NFL the last 4 years.
Hammonds is the tailback, and he's hit just as he gets the ball. Number 58 and 45. Corwin Francis and Darren Smith.
Well, we're talking about the linebackers blitzing. Here's Smith right here. Now watch him as he just blitzes up inside. The other linebacker at the top of your screen is going to come too. That's 6 players, 6 defensive men coming. You just can't block them all. A lot of teams will use blitzes in run situations to help stop the running game. Others will blitz in passing situations. Miami is doing it, seems like, on every other down.
Saka gets a little time, goes under to Gash. That pass is incomplete. Bad pass. It was thrown right at his feet.
3rd down and 15.
After the game, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. Roger and Bo, scores and highlights around the country. So here comes another big play in this ball game. 3rd down and 15 for Penn State. Miami had him stopped a while ago and let him get off the hook because of a penalty. Roughing the quarterback. And Penn State went on down and scored. Here's that same little flip behind the back. Goes to Drayton. He fumbles the football, and a penalty flag. No, he did not fumble. It's a penalty flag is thrown just as the play ends, and look out. There's that little behind-the-back shovel pass. I thought with the melee the ball might have been fumbled, but let's see what has happened. Face mask.
5 yards, face mask on the defense.
inadvertent face mask this time against Miami. They make another mistake, but this one may not be fatal.
Watch this. Another one. He's going to flip the ball behind his back, this time left-handed. I guarantee you they had to work on that. Now, this 5 yards will not be enough for a first down. Drayton is a big tight end right there at the end.
Darrell Williams got into the face mask.
And not easy to bring down.
But it is not an automatic first down. So it's 3rd down and 7 now. They get to repeat the down.
But again, as you say, another opportunity because of a penalty for Penn State to keep the drive alive.
Otherwise, it would have been 4th down and 12.
Woodson.
Guard stepped on he tripped. I think the guard that was coming back, his protector, stepped on his foot and he fell down. Oh, me.
Well, take a look at the 2 inside linebackers right here. They're going to be blitzing. Now, the offensive lineman and the quarterback see this, and they get a little bit antsy. They take a little bit quicker step, and they get out of there. Upsets the timing.
This is Williams. Got a hold. Oh, he's exciting. 46-yard line. So it'll be first down for Miami at the Penn State 46. Next Saturday at noon Eastern Time, national game, Tennessee at Alabama. Now, that'll be in Birmingham at Legion Field. That's one of the great rivalries in college football. It's at noon Eastern Time. And then after the nooner comes Washington, California, Illinois, Iowa, Colorado, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and Baylor. Some good ball games in that regional coverage. All right, Miami now needs something to go with their 6-point lead. They hand it off to Martin Patton. And Patton, who can wiggle around in traffic, picks up about 4 yards. Time remaining becoming a positive element for Miami because we are now at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Pittsburgh and Atlanta underway. Orlando Merced, home run. 2nd down and 6. McGuire, though, set back. Has the ball, runs it up the middle. And the first down, Miami at the Penn State 32. How do you feel about the clock stopping when the chains are being moved? Do you think that's...
I think it's all right. I think it's something that's done only in college football, not in pro football. Offensively, I like it because being an offensive player, I think you can get much more plays, and especially if you're in a 2-minute situation, you can use that to your advantage.
They're talking about taking it out.
Are they?
Well, there's some people who want it. Well, that didn't work much, did it? Stephen McGuire goes down in the hands of Eric Ravati and Mark D'Onofrio. And it's a loss of 3 yards.
2nd down and 13.
Okay, injury report on Joe Moore, the tight end for the Hurricanes, just a cramp. He'll be back. To look at the timeouts remaining. And Miller, number 95, the defensive lineman, he'll be back also.
Blitzing. Incomplete pass. D'Onofrio found the crack and came roaring in to take Torretta down.
D'Onofrio is the leader, the emotional leader, the tough guy on that Penn State defense. Number 38, right in the middle of your screen. Blitzing inside of Jones, number 70. Torretta sees him late and just gives some ground and throws the ball away in the direction, but he's led this team in tackles the last 2 years.
Now it's 3rd down and 13. 2 minutes and 49 seconds to play in the game. Miami 26, Penn State 20. Number 2 leading number 9. actually caroms off Reggie Gibbons, the linebacker, outside backer who had dropped off into the short flat zone, and the ball hit him in the back. He just ran in front of it.
Could have picked it off.
Yes, certainly could.
It would have been a tough catch, but I'm sure Erickson was had some real nervous moments when that ball was in Gibbons' hand.
Remind you that it's only a 6-point lead. Penn State now will get the ball back as Snyder will punt to McDuffie. Pressure coming. Kicks away. High in the air. Penalty flag goes down. Miami's going to put the ball down on about the Penn State 20-yard line, but let's see about the penalty flag downfield. They may have interfered with McDuffie.
They went down and knocked McDuffie down.
So Miami makes another mistake.
McDuffie, this ball is nowhere near him being able to catch the ball. But Cryan, number 91, is not going to give him a chance to even catch it.
Well, Cryan, who was looking for the ball, backs into McDuffie, creating the interference because he's entitled to 2 yards of freedom. And even though the ball is not in his neighborhood, he can't go down there and knock him down.
And I can't tell you how much a defensive penalty helps the offense when they go out there on the field. Penn State starts 15 yards further than they normally would because of that foul. Just mentally, emotionally, when you get some help from the defense, it's a big lift.
All right, you got a chance for the Lions. They trail by 6. It's 2 minutes and 36 seconds to play in the ball game. It's in the Orange Bowl. That's the 11th penalty on Miami for 124 yards. Saka back, pitches and throws to McDuffie. Penalty flag as McDuffie makes the catch up at the 41-yard line and then takes a wallop.
This was a little hitch and go, and I think he was jammed and held, defensive interference maybe, when he ran his little hitch. You saw Saka pull his face mask, giving a signal out to McDuffie.
Defensive holding on the defense. That'll be declined. The result of the play will stand. First down.
Watch it right here. He's going to go down, take a quick, that's a hitch. Now he pumps. Now he grabs a hold of him since James, number 26, knows he's beat. That's a good play by Penn State.
And it's first down for the Lions up at the 41-yard line. 2.5 minutes to go in the ball game. They trail by just 6 against number 2 Miami. Saka hit as he throws. The pass is caught up the 44-yard line of Miami by O.J. McDuffie. He caught it despite the fact that Darrell Williams had good coverage on him.
This is just an outstanding throw and catch. You see McDuffie just going down to the inside. Now Saka's gaining some time and to throw the ball back in the pocket. Williams, number 31, is all over him, but this game is right out there on the field for either one of these teams to take.
2 minutes, 10 and counting. Hands the ball off to Derek Collins, and Collins won't get much. Stopped at about the 45-yard line.
No gain. Kevin Patrick.
It'll be second down and 10.
Second down. 10.
We'll go inside 2 minutes. Clock continues to run. Only a 6-point lead. Huerta missed the extra point. Second week in a row he has missed one after kicking 157 straight going into last week's game against Oklahoma State. Saka gets it away just as he is hit, and it is incomplete. Perry Smith on a corner route, double coverage on him, and the clock stops at 1:28 to play in the ball game.
Third down, 10.
He's done that a lot today. Get the ball away just as he's a millisecond before he gets clobbered. You haven't seen Smith a whole lot today. He's caught about three passes, but he's caught 2 of those for touchdown.
He's about 5 shy of the single-season reception mark at Penn State.
3rd and 10 for Penn State. I'm not sure for whom that was intended. LaBarca was deep, McDuffie to the sidelines, and Smith under, and the ball was thrown between all three of them. And it is 4th down. 1 timeout for Penn State. Yes. 1:23 to play in the ball game. They got to go.
Sure, they got to go. You need 10 yards to keep the drive alive. See what Miami defensively does. Sonny Lubick, the defensive coordinator, has done a great job with this defense.
Miami has won 40 in a row on this field. Dennis Erickson in his 3rd year has never coached a loss here. Saka back. Takes off. Throws. That's intercepted. He ought to go down and he can get a touchback. Oh, he's come out. He's come out. He's come out.
That's a safety.
That's a safety. He came out on the goal line. He was walking on the goal line, and he just gave Penn State 2 points.
I don't know, Keith. They're not calling it, though.
It's got to be a safety. Why in the world didn't he just sit down?
Well, he was looking upfield. He should have not even caught the ball. Should have intercepted it. But
the momentum of the interception puts the ball on the 1-yard line, Miami.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. Look at where he catches the ball. Look at where he catches the ball.
Let's see this again. It's an awful throw, first of all. Saka should have maybe ran the ball. He could have picked up 10 yards in the first down. Momentum right here. Okay, that's a good call right there, but I'm saying maybe he was out of the end zone.
Well, he was. He steps on the goal line right there. He's out, clearly out.
Yeah, he's out of the end zone there, and then he goes back in.
But how can you call
the momentum? That's to protect the defensive back. The intercepting momentum puts the ball back on the goal line.
Yeah, but you're required to have take 1 step, are you not, before you can clearly show possession? Well, anyway, it really probably doesn't matter because all he has to do is knock it down, and there wouldn't have been any squawk about it under any circumstance, and they'd had the ball back up here at 40.
Who do you want for 7?
And isn't it true that this auto part did, in fact, come from the defendant's car?
Objection. Prosecution is leading the witness.
Overruled. You may answer the question. This part most definitely came from that car.
And how can you be sure?
I work for Napa Auto Parts. It's my job to be sure.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Napa people are parts experts, so they can answer any question, whatever the case may be.
Someone's taken some steps to juice up their batteries. And today's Duracell batteries can even outlast the ones we made just a few years back. You can't top the copper top.
25% of business people travel to small towns. That's why from Opelika, Alabama to Calais, France, you'll find us. Holiday Inn. Stay with someone you know who really knows you.
Ball is at the 5-yard line where it is 2nd down and 6 for Miami and 54 seconds to play in the ball game. So unless they make a big mistake here, Penn State has spent its last time out. They don't have any left. So they cannot stop the clock. And unless Miami makes a big mistake here, they'll be able to run out the clock. And they will continue undefeated. And their string at home will go to 41 consecutive wins. And Dennis Erickson's string will go to 15-0. But they'll all go home to supper saying, phew, it wasn't easy. Penn State, with its 2nd loss now, teeters on the edge of possibly not getting a New Year's Day bowl game. Hard to say, because a lot of games will be played between now and that time. But we're starting to see the Bowl Scouts showing up. This being their first week. Lamar Thomas is the man who runs out of your picture and runs all the way to the sideline. On 3rd down, clock is running. All they got to do is snap it. And that'll do it. So that will do it. Your final score, Miami 26, Penn State 20. The Chevrolet most valuable players in the game, Tony Saka, 24 out of 38, 263 yards for Penn State, and Kevin Williams, 217 all-purpose yards for Miami. Chevrolet donating $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. And so the story is done from the Orange Bowl in Miami. Stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental Game Report. Your final is Miami 26 and Penn State 20.